Hello and welcome to the final episode of season 3 of Racing Rundown with Lex. Yours truly. Today we discussed the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where there was a title fight between three drivers, the two papaya drivers of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, as well as the four-time world champion Max Verstappen. So, stay tuned to figure out what happened. Okay, I love you all. Make decisions and roll the intro. Okay, so the Abu Dhabi circuit is at the Yas Marina circuit. It's held in Abu Dhabi in the AUE. It is a gorgeous circuit. I'm at least for like the last 20 years has been where the race end or like where the season ended. Um and it has a total of 5.554 kilometers long. This is not correct. There are 58 laps in the Grand Prix. There are 21 turns. And yeah, it's a great track, honestly. Uh, as for this weekend, news since I last saw you was Yuki Tsunoda was dropped for Isaac Hadjar to fill his seat at the current Red Bull um upper team or higher team, like Red Bull Racing. And they are having the rookie driver, I'm blanking on his name, fill the Racing Bull seat with Liam Lawson. Um, this is the last race with Sauber F1 team. Sauber F1 team will be replaced with Audi, who has Checo and Valtteri Bottas on the grid. Um, at least I believe that's what it is. Okay, so I've seen a lot of conflicting reports, and I'm not sure if I'm just like stupid, but I'm pretty sure that it's Saudi. Sauber is being replaced by Audi. But there have been people who are saying that Audi's coming in as a whole new team, but I don't believe that's true. I could be incorrect. I will put it on the screen if I am, but and this is the final race with DRS, with Jenson Button being the first person to press the DRS button in 2011. DRS is on that back rear wing. Normally I have like a car around here I can show you. Hold on. DRS is this back wing that can open and close, and DRS is being said goodbye to after this season and is being replaced with MOM. Honestly, I'm blanking on what that stands for, but yeah. Like I said, Jenson Button was the first driver to ever press the DRS button, and Kimi Antonelli was the last person to ever press it. Um, in free practice one, there were 9 rookies in. The Red Bull team referring to Arthur Leclerc, who was filling in for Hamilton, also Charles Leclerc's little brother, referring to him as Leclerc Jr. was very amusing to me. Arthur goes into the runoff. Carlos slides at turn 7. Charles goes wide on turn 5. Ollie was sparking and eventually lost power and had a hydraulic leak. Okay. In free practice 2, I literally have 0 notes. So, okay. In free practice 3, red flag because Lewis Hamilton had a large spin and ended up going into the barrier. It was on turn 9, and it just seems like maybe some dirty air, but like really he just kind of went out. Yuki impeded Lando Norris, but only slightly, so it didn't end up being a penalty. And Kimi Antonelli and Yuki Tsunoda had contact in the pit lane because Yuki was driving along the pit lane, and Kimi's engineer released him, and he made contact with Yuki. In qualifying in Q1, the Haas was actually at a very impressive pace. Pierre gets his time deleted due to track limits, and Lewis Hamilton was out in Q1. Q2, no notes. And in Q3, George touches the barrier, and the ending result and the starting grid of the final Grand Prix was Max Verstappen in first, Lando Norris in second, and Oscar Piastri in third. I will put the rest on your screen. The Grand Prix. So, like I said, for Lando Norris to win the championship, he had to get P3 or above. And for Max Verstappen to win, Lando had to get P4 or below, and Oscar had to get P2 or below. And for Oscar to win, Max had to, I think Max had to get P3 or below, and Lando Norris had to not get points. And so let's see how this turned out. This is the first time since 2021, I believe, where Abu Dhabi has actually been the season decider, where the championship was, or the championship decider. And this is the first time since 2021 where Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen went into Abu Dhabi with the exact same amount of points to the point 5. Crazy, right? Okay. The Grand Prix starts. Oscar is able to get in front of Lando, and then Charles was like charging Lando, and it was nerve-wracking, frankly, because it was like, oh, what are we doing? You're not in contention. What are you doing? Um, there was a DRS chain forming behind Lando. Lando pits, then Lando performed a double overtake, and finally, after 58 laps, Lando Norris was crowned the 2025 world champion. I could cry. I did cry when it did happen. Um, I remember watching, like, I started watching F1 in like 2022, where McLaren was like this not so great team, and it like Lando was like this 20-year-old kid, and just to have watched him like blossom as a driver and watch his performance over the years has truly been an experience I'm glad to say I've been a fan of. And I truly believe Lando is so incredibly talented. I believe that Oscar is also very talented. I'm not saying that like Lando's talent takes away from Oscar's. Like roses and lilies are both pretty and their beauty doesn't take away from each other. Um I think that this season was very peculiar in the sense of there were a lot of team calls that were arguably leading towards favoritism. Honestly, it like depended on the race with McLaren. And there were some like crazy things, such as the Red Bull team boss, Christian Horner, getting dropped mid-season. I plan on making like a 2025 recap because this was like genuinely a crazy season. But yeah, I think to have watched Lando go from like a rookie to a first time Grand Prix winner at the 2024 Miami Grand Prix to now a world champion is something I'm very proud to say I've been a fan of the entire time. As you can see, his hat is right there. I I think that this was, in my opinion, the perfect end to one of the best seasons in F1 over the past 5 years. Um, I think it's also a bittersweet ending since there are a lot of things we're saying goodbye to at the end of this season, as well as drivers that we're saying goodbye to. But I think that overall, this has been a very good season in like an objective point of view. I believe that like this season presented a lot of new things, not only new drivers, but as well as new circuits and things like that. Like this was the last season we'll ever race on the Emilia Romagna circuit where Ayrton Senna actually passed away. I personally do not think that that one should have been canceled just to be replaced with some like random street race, but I don't know. I think that I have such a love for this season because I got to watch my favorite team and driver blossom. But as well as I feel like this was a season where so many unexpected things happen and so many like long time coming things happen, such as Nico Hulkenberg's first podium. And it truly was just a very well-rounded season in my opinion. I I think a lot of people have kind of lost perspective when it comes to the actual like sport of F1 because I think often people get people will lose perspective on how good the sport is, even if you have no bias towards a driver. And I think often, and I'm guilty of this myself, when our drivers aren't performing to the extent that we would like them to, we become disappointed. And I truly just think that this has been such a beautiful season, and it has been an amazing thing to watch play out. Um, yeah, my mummy's home. Pause. Nonetheless, it is a bittersweet end due to the amount of things that we're saying goodbye to, but I am proud to say that I never doubted Lando. Even when him getting a podium was rare, I truly have been a fan and I've appreciated his openness about his mental health since the beginning. Um, I think that's what draws a lot of people to him, at least it's what draws myself to him, because many drivers don't talk about the mental health and I think Sebastian Vettel worded it the best. He said that people expect racing drivers to be like robots, like exact precision machines when they're not. They're human. And I think as viewers, we often forget that, like, these are real people, you know? Their performances may be off on a day, like, they may just be having a bad day. That happens. We're all human. And I truly am proud to have watched this season and to have shared it and my perspective with all of you, even though I have missed some Grand Prix. But I would say that this has been one of the most beautiful seasons I've ever gotten to watch. Like, I've gotten to watch play out. Um, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching with me, and I hope that you will come back for season 4 of Racing Rundown. It's crazy to think I thought of this when I was 13 and I'm now 16 and I'm like getting ready to apply to colleges and things like that. And I'm like, but I truly am thankful for every single one of you who tune in for every race. And I, to be completely candid with you, I've been losing my motivation to do this because I feel like the videos haven't been performing to the extent I would like them to. But I have to remind myself that there are people, like the person who's watching this, who do want to hear what I have to say. And I'm so thankful for that. I hope that you, like I said, I hope you will come back for season 4. It will be a very stressful season since it will be second semester junior year, as well as college applications, as well as first semester senior year. So she's going to be a lot. And I promise I will do my best to upload every Grand Prix. I can't promise it will happen, but I can promise I will try my best. Um, but yeah, I love you all, and I'm so thankful to have you a part of the Racing Rundown family. Yeah, thank you for watching with me. It means more than you could ever know. Okay. For one last time, I love you all. Make decisions and roll the outro.